Very good morning, Reds. I hope you are all happy and safe in your homes. We have completed chapter up to 4, quite huge chapters. So, till now we studied about the various aspects of the textbook, our past, part 2. The last chapter which we studied was the Mughal dynasty, the Mughal Empire. And in the Mughal Empire, we studied about the various aspects or the contributions of Mughal kingdom to the Indian history or the medieval Indian history. And previously we studied about Delhi Sultans, and we also studied about the emergence of new kings and kingdoms and tracing history over 1,000 years. So the last nearly 1 or 2 months from June, July, August, we are now entering into the month of September. So I hope you are able to cope up with the present pandemic situation and you are able to follow the online video tutorials. Today let us move to one more interesting chapter, that is called Rulers and the Buildings. What we study in the chapter number 5 is nothing but how the king or the rulers of the past, how they concentrated not only in the part of administration and warfare, but they also concentrated on in the part of construction of buildings. Construction of buildings, why they concentrated on the construction of buildings? Because the construction of buildings was one of the major reasons why people they remembered even today. So keeping all those aspects in their brain. So every kingdom concentrated on development of buildings, monuments, so that their names will be remembered always in the history. So in this chapter we study about the styles of construction which is followed in the medieval Indian history, styles of construction, and we also study about how these kind of constructions were done those days. What may be the possible methods used for the style of construction? Like in a temple construction, we divide the temple construction of ancient Indian history or the medieval Indian history into three style of construction. One is Nagara style, second is Vesara style, and third one is Chalukya style of temple construction. Nagara style of temple construction. Most of the temples which are there in the North India, they are Nagara style of construction. Then we have Dravida style of construction. Rajarajeshwara temple of Tanjavur. Okay, sir, Dravidian style of temple construction, huge temple complexes, buildings. So that is how they used to construct the temples in south, that is Dravidian style. Chalukya dynasty mixed the features of both, that is Nagara and Vesara or the Dravidian style, and they started their own style called Chalukyan style of construction. Velur Channakeshwar temple is an example for Chalukyan style of temple construction. This is a known monument, okay, that is Qutub Minar. Qutub Minar, its monument, 3 major kings involved in the renovation as well as maintenance of this beautiful monument called Qutub Minar. Now, Qutub Minar is nothing but a tower, okay, the meaning of Minar is a tower. So Qutub Minar is a kind of tower or a victory's tower in the memory of those kings. Let us go through this. Qutub Minar is 5-storied high. A band of inscriptions you see are under its first balcony. The first floor was constructed by Qutbuddin Aibak. So first floor is constructed by Qutbuddin Aibak and the rest by Iltutmish. Means remaining constructed by Iltutmish in 1299. Over the years, it was damaged by lightning, earthquake, and repaired by Alauddin Khilji, Muhammad Tughlaq, Firoz Shah Tughlaq, and Ibrahim Lodi. So Kutubuddin Aibak constructed the first floor of Qutub Minar. That's why it is called Qutub Minar. Kutubuddin Aibak constructed the first floor of Qutub Minar. Qutub Minar is having how many minars? How many stories? They are 5 stories. So this 5-storied building was later constructed by Iltutmish, that is in 1229. Then it is maintained, repaired by Alauddin Khilji, Muhammad Shah Tughlaq, Firoz Shah Tughlaq, and Ibrahim Lodi. Now what happened? What you have to understand here? Qutub Minar is a minar or a tower which got a 5-storied building. Construction of a 5-storied building today, you may be in the flat constructions and all, apartments and all, 50-storied buildings are very common. Construction of 50-storied buildings today, it is not so challenging because we have today heavy lifting cranes. The weights can be lifted very easily with the help of a crane. So that today we have that engineering skill to construct the huge or multi-storied buildings. But those days, these kind of engineering skills were not available. So they followed their own technique of construction of buildings that we study when we proceed with the chapter. To try to remember, Kutubuddin Aibak was a person who started the Qutub Minar, and later it was continued by Iltutmish, Muhammad Tughlaq, Alauddin Khilji, Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Okay, this is an image which is given in your textbook. Qutub Minar, Kutubuddin Aibak constructed the first balcony of Qutub Minar in around 1199. So, around 1199, the first story or the first balcony of Qutub Minar was constructed by Kutubuddin Aibak. The first floor was constructed by Kutubuddin Aibak and rest by Iltutmish in 1229. So Iltutmish continued the construction of Qutub Minar. Later, it was repaired by Alauddin Khilji, Muhammad Tughlaq, Firoz Shah Tughlaq, and Ibrahim Lodi. So Ibrahim Lodi, Firoz Shah Tughlaq, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, Alauddin Khilji, they were all involved in maintenance as well as improving the structure called Qutub Minar. So originally Qutub Minar was started by Kutubuddin Aibak. Okay, so that is about Qutub Minar. Now let us move to the style of construction. Style of construction means, take for example, you may have house as well as outhouse. Okay, what is the purpose of a house and outhouse? Outhouse may be called as servant quarters or outhouse. Generally, construction of a house, a home, is nothing but the staying of a family members. Imagine if you have a visitor or if you have someone servant. Generally, servants won't stay with us. So generally, those well-off families, they will have constructed an outhouse or a servant quarters where the servant or the people who are helping means they stay. Purpose here. What is the purpose of construction of an outhouse? Construction of a purpose of outhouse is so that servant quarters or a servant may stay, so that servant can reach to the owner at the early call. Like that, you may be seen temples, palaces, fort, wells. All these are the monuments. Every monument got its own purpose. So that is what, on the basis of purpose, we divide the styles of construction into two. Okay. The style of construction is to two kinds of structure. Two kinds of structures were built between 8th and 18th century. So we totally divide the style of construction into two. The style of construction, we are dividing the time period between 8th and 18th century. The first style of construction. What is the first style of construction? The first style of construction was mainly personal or for the purpose of safety and security of the king and king's family primarily. Later, of course, the protection of the kingdom. But to be specific, the primary structures were purely personal structures or comfort, luxury, grand manner, everything was involved in the primary structure. What are the primary structures or the first kind of structure is fort. Forts are constructed mainly to build up, so protect the mainly the capital city. Take for example in Bijapur near Shivaji Chowk, you can see the outer remainings of Bijapur Fort. Why the Bijapur Fort is constructed? So that whenever enemies attacked the capital city, the palace of the king, treasury, everything will be protected because it's a huge, strong built-up area. So the purpose of constructing fort is nothing but to protect the palace or to protect the king and his family as well as his wealth. Forts, palaces, garden residence and tombs. So these are the primary or the first kind of structure where huge palaces, you have seen maybe Mysore Palace, Gwalior Palace or many palaces in and around different states in India. Palaces are purely come under the first kind of structure where it is purely personal structure. Garden residence generally if you visit Mysore, then Tipu Sultan Summer Palace. Tipu Sultan Summer Palace is called as Darya Daulat. Darya Daulat is nothing but a garden palace, and besides that Tipu's tomb also there. So garden residence is also a kind of structures where it is constructed purely for the luxury time spending of the king. So forts, palaces, garden residence and tombs. Take for example the Bijapur's famous structure of Gol Gumbaz. Gol Gumbaz is a structure where the dead body of the Ibrahim Adil Shahi II and his son and his wife is kept. So this building of Gol Gumbaz is nothing but purely a personal remainings of a king, so that the king wanted his memories should be last long, everlasting. So construction of huge stones including Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal is also seen where Taj Mahal is constructed in memory of his wife. Okay. So tombs, garden residence, palaces, these were the primary kind of structure, the first type of structure. And what are the features of these kind of structures? These structures are constructed in a grand style and safe and protected compared to other places. So whenever we visit this, then we can see they are in a safe place or the center of the place where it is very safely protected. And very important, they are very grand. They are constructed in a grand style. For example, is Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal is definitely a very grand. Even Gol Gumbaz is a grand manner. Mysore Palace is the king. They were ready to spend a huge amount of wealth on the construction of palace or a tomb. So this is what we concentrate on, the first kind of structure. Second type of structure. I told you first kind of structure is purely for the personal use of the king or his family. What is the second style of structure? The second type of structures meant for public activity. These type of structures These type of structures were made to increase the comfort level of subjects and win the praise from the subjects. Now, primary or the first kind of structures we studied, the first kind of structures were mainly constructed to increase the comfort level of king and his family. So, the king definitely concentrated not only the comfort level of his family, he every now and then concentrated on increasing, giving facility to the subjects. Subjects means people. Okay, subjects means today we call people as citizens. Those days, of course, they were called subjects. So, for the benefit of subjects or for the benefit of people, they constructed few buildings which are mainly meant for public activity. Public activity is nothing but to be simple that everyone can come and sit there or chat or spend time. That is called a public place. For example, temple. Temple is a public place. Anyone can come and sit, spend time there. Public place. Well is a public place. I am not speaking about today's borewells. It's a wells means huge well. In our campus you can see a huge well near Hanuman temple. It's a huge well. Okay, Taj Bawadi, which is there in Bijapur. Taj Bawadi is a huge well where hundreds of people can come and use the well. Such a huge huge construction. So the second type of structure mainly meant for public activity, and these type of structures were made to increase the comfort level of subjects. Means people should be more comfortable or happy, and very important, the intention of construction of this building that people should praise the king. Wow, wonderful! The king has done a lot of benefit activities to the people. Benevolent king, Raja Raja, Adiraja, Maharaja. All these kind of high sounding titles, or he is the real god of the earth and all those things. So you see, when we studied about Chola kingdom, Raja Raja Chola, Rajendra Chola, why they are all praised by the people? Because they concentrated on construction of huge wells, not only wells, even dams, so that the water is channelized, people get the water, people are happily involved in agricultural activity. So naturally they praise. For example, today if the government of India does any welfare measures, welfare activity, naturally who will get the benefit of that welfare activity? It's we citizens of this country. When the citizens of the country we get more and more benefit, naturally we praise the government of India. That the same style those days also. Now let us move to what are the second type of structure. They are temple, mosque, tank, wells, and series, sarais, bazaars were the examples for second type. Caravansarais. What is caravansarais? Is nothing but accommodation place. What today we see? Lodges. Okay. Caravansarais are, take for example, those days lodges or hostels were not there. Hotels were not there. So when a people, especially we are speaking about merchants, when merchants travel from a place to place, then they need a place to rest in the night. So these kind of sarais were the place where they used to stay. So that is what we speak about, caravansarais. Temples, we studied in Chola kingdom, how Chola kingdoms were the centers of, not only centers of cultural or religious center, they were the center of economic centers, cultural center, trade centers. So temples, mosques, tanks, wells, caravansarais, bazaars were the example for second style of structure. So what is the second style of structure? Second style of structure is nothing but keeping in mind of the general public or the subjects, so that they feel happy and comfortable. Let us move to the next topic, that is engineering skills. Okay. When we speak about engineering skills, construction of an elaborate superstructure requires more sophisticated skill. Between 7th and 10th century, archers started adding more rooms and doors, and windows were still made by placing horizontal beams across two vertical columns, a style of architecture called parapet or corbelled. Above style was used in the construction of temples, mosques, tombs and wells. So detail regarding this we will study in the next class. Please take care of yourself, prepare well, do well in the examination. Thank you.